And we're back again for the second semifinal match. Brad the Chad D Daddy, aka Boats and Hoenns, versus Mammox 45, aka Reptar's Desert Adventure. And I'll send them the all clear. Talk about some leads here.
Yeah, I think they both have good dedicated leads. The question is if they're planning on going into those or if they have metagamed each other. Mammox definitely has a bit more play in that where he could have hazards on, well, just about any of his mons or just being a fake out Sableye off the lead with some prankster antics. Um, yeah, very interesting matchup here. These two have practiced against each other quite a bit.
Yeah, that can pose some interesting challenges when you're trying to mind game. And going for protect here on the first move, we still would probably expect outside of Prankster that Togekiss is going to be faster than Sableye.
Oh, most definitely. He just wanted to guarantee get that Mega Evolution off, and now he's going into his Metal Hot Dog into the Togekiss. This is the Fairy Slayer.
Yeah, he can take care of this fairy really quickly, but swapping over to the Rotom and landing a Toxic, which is kind of annoying. Rotom doesn't have a way to cleanse itself unless it's a Rester on a Resto Berry, but not what we're going to see here. It's probably Pain Splitting. Hydro Pump going in on normal effectiveness into the Garchomp, but didn't hit very hard there. So we're going to go ahead and see a sub, which stops the Will-O-Wisp. Huge! A Garchomp behind the sub is incredible. Let's see if he has another setup move or if he's just going to start killing. If he has Sword Stance, it's going to be crazy. Let's see what he has. He has Sword Stance! Okay, here we go.
So the question now is, what does it have to threaten the Togekiss, who is immune to ground with its flying and immune to dragon with its fairy? It has to
Oh,
have an attacking move that is neither of those, and we know it has Substitute and Sword Stance. Is there an oversight here? All of the setup possibly for nothing. Great reads off the start by Mammox. I totally agree. But
ooh.
ooh,
And there's the Earthquake
Earthquake immune.
immune. Yeah, and he must just not have it. So taking a leftovers tick there, and now he's going to swap it out. Pretty crazy there, and interesting going to the Skarmory instead of the Heat Ran. Let's see if this pays off for him because Togekiss is fast and is special. So okay, gets the Stealth Rock out, and Rocky Helm is going to be on the Skarmory. There's the flinch. Yeah, going for the Serene Grace stuff. You may just want a hard swap here. Yeah, there it is.
There's the defog from the Togekiss. This Togekiss is quite an anti-lead and really cutting into Mammox's team with that Garchomp unable to threaten it. The beginning of the game is quite close to undone with the Toxic being removed. The Garchomp took a hit but healed up with some ticks. The Rotom's doing the same now.
Wow, look at that special wall, Blissey. Yeah, just a great pink blob, but the Volt Switch will let him get a little bit of momentum back. He'll go with Ferrothorn with a physical Gyro Ball probably coming, but knowing that, he landed a Thunder Wave, which could actually be huge if he gets. Oh, power! He brought the Power Whip, so he's got the Stab Grass, okay? That's like a 120 power move.
Yeah, but good on Mammox for having the Paralyze instead of the Poison on that Blissey for the steals. Going for the knockoff, just kind of trying to break down the Ferrothorn as best he can. There's the Paralyze proc.
And depending on what moves he has, he could probably just press Protect and he just says, okay, he has Recover, taking a chance to recover here. The Tyranitar, you finally going to the Tyranitar here. This is going to be an excellent Pokemon against
Oh,
Togekiss.
4%.
Yeah, I mean, 4% there, guys. I mean, that's just money in the bag. So a
I'm
Stone
gonna go
Edge
ahead
here
and read
would
that as
take
an
this
assault
thing
vest.
down. Yeah, a stab Stone Edge here is just incredibly strong. So he presses it 39% into the Rotom. Sandstorm procking, leftovers hitting him back up to 49%.
God, I would almost. Oh, there's the pain split. Great way to get some damage on there, but he leaves it in going for more Stone Edges.
Yeah, if it was any other Pokemon besides Rotom, that's just really annoying that it pain splits and but going that into the Blissey is totally fine. You have Heal Bell, you have Natural Cure. I mean, and this is a great matchup for Blissey.
Yeah, I would just like to see Mammox protect his pieces a little bit more and go into those rotations. With this defensive team, it is so big to mitigate that chip damage. Here's the Volt Switch that we would normally expect against Blissey. Into the Landorus, immune to the Thunder Wave.
Yeah, didn't
Sandstorm
get
as it did.
didn't get got there. This Landorus could have superpower. It could have knockoff. It could have earthquake. I mean, earth power. There's so many things it could have. Switching to the Skarmory, U-turn. That'll deal a little damage back, and he'll be able to get the Pokemon he wants out here. Maybe he goes with like Volcarona. No, going with Rotom Wash, which is fine. But I think you just immediately swap back to the Blissey, and you could do that, or just go to the Sableye, try to get it to send it back. No, goes with the Blissey, and that's your special wall. So good call. And we're gonna be on a little bit of a loop here.
Yeah, he just has to find his opportunity to get some hazards in there to punish Brad for this switch game. The same for Brad on Mammox, though, with the Ferrothorn, a superpower, hitting Stupid Bird pretty hard.
Yeah, getting a crit there is just massive, and sheesh. Yeah, that's not going to do anything against Sableye because this Landorus is definitely going to be scarfed here. So,
Yeah, I gotta say, I think that was a mistake with the attack drop and the chance of a non-crit coming through. He could have gotten some roost off with the Skarmory, but he'll have opportunities to do that later on.
yeah, I might have gone for a roost there myself, but you know, it's a pretty good with taking the superpower with the ghost and getting the free swap in. But this isn't a good matchup for you. He's gonna go back to goes to the Blissey, which is fine, but the heal bell gets rid of the paralysis, and the Blissey is gonna need to get some. Oh yeah, Serene Grace. You're gonna be slower, so maybe getting Tyranitar out is what you want.
At the same time, playing this slow game is gonna benefit Mammox's more defensive team much better. The crazy thing's gonna be once they start reading these swap ins and going for more damaging moves. Like going for the paralysis there, I almost would have liked to have seen some seismic tosses coming out of the Blissey to just push damage.
Yeah, that was pretty wild leaving Blissey in there for that wish. But yeah, that was a pretty.
And with the immunity, also just not taking advantage of the wish. But he does get a burn on the Togekiss.
Yeah, but Togekiss is just gonna heal bell
Yep.
this thing away.
When it wants to, it doesn't necessarily want to immediately, but this is an opportunity to yet get a safe swap into the Blissey. I'd love to see a soft boil here, try and get some more health on that Blissey again.
He has wish, no softball,
That is
so
true.
that is kind of the downside there.
Now, if he
He's
passes to the Skarmory here, the Skarmory just has to survive the superpower, but it already has been roughed up.
Yeah, you can't swap into Skarmory here. You gotta go immediately to Sableye or Heatran. He chooses to go to Garchomp, and Brad was just willing to press Superpower every time. But there's the wish, the defensive Garchomp with sub and sword stance, but that pesky Togekiss is still there, making it just impossible for this Garchomp to do anything.
Yeah, I'd almost like to see Mammox just go ahead and hard swap from the Chomp now. He knows he can't use it until the Togekiss is gonna die, and there it goes. Good read. Still trying to heal up this Chansey, getting those leftover procs over and over again. He has healed up pretty well from that.
Yeah, just showing the power of Blissey, just how strong of a wall. And there's the quick swap to Sableye. I don't usually like that, yeah, because that'll allow him to just press something else. Probably would have gone for a wish there. But there's the burn, just one tick. It'll get a heal belt down, and it has wish, so you know we'll just keep spinning.
Yeah, both of these players, definitely two of our more defensive players. Opposite of what we saw in the previous one. There's a pursuit for a little bit more chip on the Togekiss. Yeah, these two definitely playing the defensive game while our first match was all out offense. It'll be interesting to see which of these two goes to meet up Susamon in the finals.
Yeah, Power Whip hitting pretty hard there. The Sandstorm hitting Sableye, so he has to recover. He has Protect instead of Taunt on the Sableye, and I don't know. It allows you to secure the Mega, but Taunt is just so good.
And Brad using that predictable heal on the Sableye as an opportunity to bring his sweeper in. Now he's got a dance off. Metal Hot Dog just eats those attacks. Does it have the hidden power ground? That is the question. I
It,
wouldn't even mind him switching to the Skarmory,
oh, and he
trying to
has
out it.
the
Oh,
hidden power ground. Oh my goodness, and that is just backbreaking.
yeah, I would have liked to have seen him try and scout that out a bit by switching to either the Skarmory or even the Blissey to just kind of eat whatever it is.
Oh my goodness,
Oh,
and there's
big
the
Stone
Stone
Edge into it.
Edge.
Yeah,
Super
initially,
effective.
yeah,
And
before that Mega Evolution. Ooh,
and the Sandstorm is definitely going to hit it again. So yeah, he swaps to the Garchomp to take a little bit of physical damage. Waterfall into the Garchomp, hits back, Sandstorm will hit him and take it down. Nice play.
yeah, we gotta imagine that Togekiss is coming right back out again. Here it is. It's probably just gonna go for a wish though, because there's nothing that the Chomp can do to threaten it. Going into the Blissey, gonna get some healing on it.
Yeah, just like that, the wish goes out, and he doesn't really have too much that's low, so he'll probably just leave the Togekiss out here to take the wish.
Yeah, if it wasn't a Blissey, I wouldn't be surprised if he went into the Volcarona, but there he goes, finally pushing Seismic Toss, trying to push some damage through with the Blissey. The wish going off and negating it though.
Yeah, I guess that got you a swap into Landorus, but I don't know. I would have liked just letting you get the wish on the Togekiss, but there goes the Sandstorm. Landorus locked into Earthquake here, but decides to immediately swap to the Togekiss. Oh, takes the burn. So because he didn't use the wish on the Togekiss, he's now going to have to wish again, or Heal Bell, then wish, to try to get a little. And knowing that, Mammox is going to go ahead and swap to Skarmory. Let's see if he goes for the kill here. Oh! And he's flinched on Serene Grace! The wish comes true, the burn proc, and this is tough for Mammox.
Yeah, using the opportunity to get Reptar in. Brad still leaving that burn on. Just the tick after tick. Now this Togekiss is in a bit of a rocky situation.
Yeah, you can't leave it out because a Stone Edge would kill there. So yeah, there's the Stone Edge. It doesn't touch, so no Iron Barbs. No leftovers anymore because it got knocked off. And it doesn't have the setup where he was leech seeding like it made in the previous round. So yeah, he's just gonna swap over to the Landorus.
And now we're starting to see some of the double switches coming out. I feel like we should have been seeing this a little bit earlier with the switches being so predictable. Something else we saw earlier was Brad actually saving some
Oh no!
superpowers. Oh, but there he lets one loose there. He's used so many
I
superpowers.
don't
How many does
know.
he have left?
I don't know what that swapping was on the Tyranitar or leaving it in. You Earthquake or Superpower would have been devastating. I think that was a misstep there by Mammox. So that's backbreaking. And here come Mega Sableye without taunt is just not going to be able to stop this thing setting up.
Yeah, it already had its item knocked off, so the knockoff will be hitting for noticeably less. There's the fiery dance that we see Brad love to use.
Just willing to trade here.
There's the yeah.
And he can't outspeed with anything. So the recover will happen. Oh, it
Oh
deciding
no,
to.
no, it will not because it's the Mega Sableye does
Oh
not have
yeah,
the rank.
yeah, true, 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 true. So swapping right to the Blissey for the special, but you gotta go. I mean, you could go to Garchomp, or you could go to Sableye again to
Oh,
try and
straight
secure.
into Skarmory. Straight into the stupid bird. Hope for the earthquake. There it is.
There it is.
There it is.
High risk,
Now he
high
gets an
reward play.
opportunity to get a roost off. He could have done the same for the Sableye for the superpower. There's the roost. Either of those Pokemon would have gotten a 50% heal. It's just a 50-50 on which move the Lando was going to blow.
So swaps to there, and ooh, pressing knockoff there with Ferrothorn. Maybe Mammox was expecting a Stealth Rock or something, but Togekiss is still alive. I can't remember if Togekiss got a wish off on itself or.
No, I believe it's still low, but regardless, there's nothing it can do. But Mammox making the call, going he's not going to swap straight into it, and Brad taking the opportunity to get rocks up. I imagine the Togekiss comes out now. Let's see if Mammox makes the swap. No, going with the Earthquake. The
Yeah, with
Rotom even coming in.
triple levitate slash flying there. I don't know about pressing Earthquake again, but goes behind the sub. This will prompt him to swap to the Togekiss probably. Yeah, there's the Togekiss. It's going to take damage on the burn. Yeah, the immune will stop the outrage, but like it's just yeah, you got to go ahead and swap. So he swaps to the Skarmory. Airs the Wish coming in. Oh man, if he presses an attacking move and doesn't get flinched, let's see. He got flinched! No! And there's the Wish landing. And the burn is still ticking, but that takes the Skarmory down. That is just so rough, man.
If he flinches, he loses his attack regardless of what he has. Nope, that's only on
So,
Gale Wings.
so there's the Wish. And double Wish. It doesn't matter. He decides. Oh, and goes for the seismic toss. Beautiful. Takes it down. Now the Garchomp is technically unlocked a little bit, but how are you gonna get a chance to set up with it? It's gonna be tough. The only real great chance. I mean, this isn't gonna be a very good matchup. I would have liked to see the Ferrothorn come out there. Thunder Wave isn't gonna
Immune.
work into an
He's
electric
feeling the
Pokemon.
pressure.
Yeah, Mammox maybe tilting a bit here. Volt chart or Volt Switch, not going to do much, but that'll give him the Ferrothorn swap. And here comes some physical damage in the Power Whip.
Yeah, the Blissey's got to go for the seismic toss.
Oh!
Notably slow.
Here comes Blissey. Blissey with the seismic toss, but Landorus, this is the spot right here. And he leaves it out, and it just dies for the fresh reset on the Garchomp. He's not going to be faster, but he knows that the Garchomp can survive this. So he's going to probably, press Swords Dance? Sub?
I'd go ahead and try and get behind the sub and just see what happens. You imagine the land is either going to spam it. Yep, just dropping its attack further, so not the worst there. Does he get the dance off? No, he goes straight into the outrage.
Oh! Big outrage, and this is a moment here. This is all for all the marbles. 100% Rotom will survive that. Will he hit? He misses with it! Will Outrage pit again? There's the leftovers. No confusion. Outrage is going to come again here and kill the Rotom. And Mammox 45 takes the first game.
What a close game. What a close game. And I'll tell you what, there was also a lot of information given by both players in that just slugfest of a game. There's just so much information. We'll see how they adjust to each other. We'll see if Zeusamon's watching, taking notes, learning their entire teams. They have nothing hidden at this point. Full move sets on display. How will it go in game 2?
Oh, man. So last game, we saw Mammox lead with the Sableye. I want to see him do something else. No, goes with the Sableye. He'll get something prankster. I mean, maybe he just presses Protect here. Volt Switch, not going to do a whole lot, even though
Going
it's
for the
stab.
knockoff. This
Yeah.
means he's going for the knockoff.
Yeah, so
Brad has to
will
read
Brad
this and
be
go
on
to the
top of
Gyarados.
this? Yeah, Brad got to see this. Let's see what he does. Yep, go into the Gyarados. It will intimidate the attack down. The Megastone will block the knockoff, does very little.
And we have an illegal maneuver. Oh no, the Sableye did Mega Evolve. That is my
Yeah, he
fault.
did. He
The
did.
thing, he just gets a big rock. He doesn't even change. What the fuck?
And Skarmory is a good swap here. Let's see what he presses. Did he press Earthquake? No, presses Taunt, which is probably okay, but
Yeah,
not
against the
not
Skarmory, I
really
like
what
that.
you want if you're Skarmory. If he has Brave Bird, though, you can get some damage across, but your physical wall there is still going to be great. Yeah, he presses Brave Bird, not going to do a whole lot of damage, but leftovers. Oh, he's got Rocky Helm, so not going to heal back up to re-enable Sturdy. And Rotom is a special attacker, so yeah, swaps over to Garchomp, and that blocks the Volt Switch. But at this point, a Hydro Pump into your Chomp is not going to be good. So he presses the sub, which is fine. Get a little bit of scouting. You take some damage, it's okay. But yeah, now you got to swap.
Yeah, the Blissey is a very direct defensive counter against this Rotom. Doesn't have a ton it can threaten it out with, but this is a keen opportunity to go ahead and start hitting some seismic tosses. If he starts that earlier than he did in the previous game, especially with Brad focusing on his paralysis counters, identifying what status effect the Blissey has. There it is, and the Thunder Wave, immune straight into the Lando.
Yeah, I would have liked to seen when that sometime during that Rotom, I would have liked to see a swap to Tyranitar. Um, to go ahead and get your storm going and a little bit of momentum back. Yeah, here comes Tyranitar. You got to get something going. You got to get rocks. You got to get something. I mean, Tyranitar is excellent against Volcarona. So this, I mean, Brad is being very risky here.
Yeah, it's smartly identifying that, switching to the Ferrothorn. Both of these players seem to have their direct counters for what the opponent is going to do. They need to start double swapping to kind of get around that, or using their secondary counters to threaten in opposite ways.
Yeah, both of because Tyranitar is vested, we're not going to be able to see a rock, and he was hoping that he would get a rock there to bounce back, but Mammox needs to just go for his own stealth rocks and just get a little bit of payment for making him do this. And again, he he doesn't have Prankster anymore, so the taunt is excellent against Sableye. Gotta love that.
The taunt is great, but Mammox has that foil of the Skarmory Blissey, that classic combo.
Taunt again, and Brave Bird's gonna come down and doing more damage into the Gyarados. He's gonna have to swap now. Let's see Mammox go ahead and swap here as well. A little bit of a predict swap. Because I don't know, Gyarados, you can't risk him dying, and there's a swap to the Rotom, leaving him out for the Brave Bird. I would have liked to seen the swap there, so you could have predicted that Rotom.
Yeah, some proactive play. That's what we really need here. Reptar, the obvious swap in, taking that Hydro
Ooh,
Pump like a champ with the super
woo!
high power.
Yeah, like that is a money take right there. Like stab Hydro Pump, you know, you, take like a quarter of your HP. That's amazing. So Volt Switch over to the Ferrothorn. You get a Stone Edge. Now you're going to swap. Let's see if Brad tries to get the advantageous swap here as well.
Yeah, we see both of them trying to protect their sweepers quite a bit. Mammox really holding that metal hot dog close to his chest, that Heatran being his way to break so many things on Brad's team.
Yeah, no taunt coming here, so we'll probably see a recover. Um, yeah, the Heatran hasn't made it into battle yet, but pressing knockoff, getting rid of leftovers there is big on the Volcarona. It's now at half health. You gotta go to Tyranitar here, yeah. So even though Sandstorm is Bug Buzz hitting for 30%, but you still, if you press Stone Edge and hit, that Volcarona dies here. Oh, and it had a huge roll and takes down because no sandstorm.
It's the
Incredible.
50% drop.
Oh no.
I would have liked to have seen him go into the Blissey, identifying that that sandstorm was about to go up, and maybe even double swap then into the Tyranitar for the second attack.
Yeah, really rough there. Landing the Thunder Wave on the Togekiss, and it has leftovers because it's not knocked off like it was in the previous game. Wish going across on both sides of the battlefield. Gyarados healing back up. Gyarados being physical is really tough. Taunt again. The Brave Bird does good damage, so he swaps to Rotom every single time usually in this situation. So yeah, leaving him out with the Brave Bird. I mean, a taunted Skarmory, that's a good spot to go ahead and swap, but losing one turn on that rotation, he gets a Will-O-Wisp.
Yeah, being a Mon down and seeing all of his progress on that Gyarados just taken away with that Wish Pass. You got to be taking some risky plays, some risky maneuvers. He's definitely figured out just mashing the seismic toss to push damage through with Blissey. I do like seeing that. But which is it going to be? Going with the Skarmory, predicting the Earthquake, or the U-turn, eats that well and damages back with good chip.
And it's he's really depending on this Togekiss. I mean, that is the centerpiece of his team right now. Volcarona, I mean, probably he'll just see a Brave Bird into this thing, or oh, he doesn't have Sturdy. He's at 92%, so he's gonna have to respect that and go right to the Blissey here. He could also go to Heatran. We'll see what he does. He goes to the Blissey, so that's the safe swap into the Rotom. So good choice.
Yeah, but now the Blissey can just click Seismic Toss, eating that Volt Switch very well. Does he wish to try and Wish Pass instead? Is he trying to be aggressive or defensive? Let's see. Going with the Seismic Toss. He's trying to push the dial forward.
Another toss. Leftovers is quite strong. Heal Bell getting rid of the paralysis. Ooh. Yeah, leftovers on this Togekiss is being really tough. There's the Seismic Toss again. And depending on what he presses here, is he going to be risky with the Air Slash? No, just swaps to the Landorus to get the Wish. The Seismic Toss hits. Oh, and he survives at 5%. Oh, man.
Yeah, the Wish only bringing him up to 63. Togekiss's health pool's a little bit lower, so it's not the legendary Wish Passer that you get out of Blissey or Chansey or some of the other top tiers. But good healing by Brad, just kind of countering out Mammox's chip strategy and big fell swoops of wishes.
And here's his chance to get Stealth Rocks out. Yeah, there's the rock. And yeah, Power Whip's going to do nothing there. This is a critical turn here. Is Mammox going to start pressing Whirlwind? I kind of think you do.
I'd like to see some whirlwinds. You're scared of what you can bring out, but at the same time, you got to take those risky plays at this point in the game. He needs to try and unlock his offense by removing the Togekiss so that his Garchomp's unlocked. The answer for the Togekiss is his Heatran, which he seems scared to use of after losing it so
Oh, and
quickly
he
with Volcarona.
pulls it out. Oh, what a mistake, because Brad was willing to leave this Ferrothorn in. He had it with the Skarmory. He could have just pressed Whirlwind. Oh, man, really tough.
But here it comes. Here comes the Heatran. He did get a clean swap in from that. Rotom coming to counter it, but there's a taunt on the Rotom. Won't do much because this thing's going to be wanting to hit a strong Hydro Pump. He's got to go into Blissey and try and reset this
Oh,
match a bit.
man.
There's the Volt Switch.
I just can't believe that. You had it right there. That Skarmory presses Whirlwind. You never know what you're going to get. And Volcarona takes half its health from a Stealth Rock. Like, oh, man.
No,
That
you
is.
know the taunt's coming here. You got to hit the
Oh,
Seismic Toss with the Blissey and just
oh
push the dial
no.
forward, eat the taunt, then switch.
This is just not going well here for Mammox 45 in game two. But because he was willing to leave out the Gyarados, he takes a Brave Bird. Mammoth's really willing to just press Brave Bird while taunted on the Skarmory. Because he doesn't have Sableye anymore, that's yeah, and Brad's just gonna lose the Gyarados. Oh, the flinch is huge! Horrible RNG for Mammox 45. A natural flinch on the waterfall, and just sends and a crit into the Garchomp that will kill the Gyarados on the rough skin, but just awful luck for Mammox 45, the CTO.
Yeah, it seems like a bit of panic switches here. He needs to be aggressive with his switches, but in ways that aren't going to risk him. There goes the Togekiss, dead to the rocks.
I mean, just that one turn where you could have pressed Whirlwind. He's still in this, though. He still has the Skarmory where he could hypothetically get some Whirlwinds off. There is no defog left on the side of Brad. Those rocks are there to stay. So this is incredible because there's no Wish, there's no defog, and that Volcarona just gets absolutely crushed by Stealth Rocks.
Oh, and losing the speed race there to the Landers, getting that bit of chip damage in. I would have liked to have seen the Ferrothorn come in to force that Garchomp out. Here comes Stupid Bird, just going to try and get more chip damage in.
Oh, and it
And it survived.
survives.
The attack dropped so massive from the superpower, and he went for the roost. Great play.
Yeah.
Mammoth has been reliant on the Skarmory in so many games,
Yeah.
and he's going to just sit in there and superpower, let the Skarmory heal back up. Brad just kind of switching the dial a bit and going into this aggressive strat where he's just willing to throw Pokemon away to try and take the match. Mammoth's just letting them crash into the Skarmory, reactivating his sturdy at this point. Here comes the Ferrothorn.
Now press Whirlwind. So there's a Thunder Wave landed. That's okay. I mean, even with that, like you're still in a good situation. There's a Stealth Rock. There's the Whirlwind. Excellent. Volcarona just dies. Awesome. Great. Ferrothorn is back. And there's a knockoff, but the Rocky Helmet tossed away. It's not like it's a leftovers. And now he's just going to start pressing Whirlwind. But this is the spot where I think you got to go to the Blissey.
Yeah, the Blissey just eating that Hydro Pump. And honestly, he can very safely just kind of go for the paralysis here. Let's see if he sees that or if he goes with the seismic toss. There's the Thunder Wave, reading it beautifully there.
And he's in a really great spot. The problem is that this is an immediate swap here, but a knockoff getting rid of the leftovers, which is super annoying. Let's see what he presses. He's probably going to press Magma Storm. He likes that move. Yeah, there's the Magma Storm. It'll lock it in, but again, I don't think you want to just lose Heatran. So yeah, swaps to the Blissey.
The Pain Split doing work on that Blissey's massive health pool. This Rotom's just sticking around. The Magma Storm dropping with the Heatran's exit. There's the burn. There's the wish. The real question is, can Brad even kill at this point with the remaining PP that he has, assuming proper swaps by Mammox?
Well, he doesn't have Leech Seed. At least we haven't seen Leech Seed.
Oh, and a Thunder Wave, just kind of a wasted turn. He knows the Ferrothorn's paralyzed. The Rotom's immune.
There's the Thunder Wave. Let's see if he presses. Oh, and he misses with the Power Whip. That is, he could have gotten punished huge there. Mammox could have. And yeah, I mean, if you get hit, yeah, you can't get hit by a Power Whip here. Heatran gets hit by that Stealth Rock knockoff. He already knocked off the leftovers, and the Rotom is at 100%. Still able to Pain Split. There's a big Toxic there. That's actually massive.
Yeah, that Toxic's going to allow the Blissey to stall out the Rotom.
Yeah,
Just
that
keep
Toxic
going.
is crazy. And he knows that the Ferrothorn's coming, of course, and a Wish is coming out. Um, but if he gets hit by a Power Whip here, this Blissey just dies. Like, you.
Yeah, it's a scary thought. He's going for it, going to trust the paralysis. It does, but
Oh!
it lives.
It lives! Somehow it lives. And Heatran can take a power whip like a champ. Knockoff instead, he knows. Oh, and the wish comes true, healing it all the way back up. The Rotom is still there though. Takes rocks, will take the toxic, but Earth Power is not a move that. Why did you press Earth Power?
Yeah, he was just trying to snipe that Ferrothorn, but even still, I'd like to have seen a Magma Storm for the quad damage. That's my only thought on that. And going aggressive here, getting the Magma Storm up,
Oh
taking
no.
huge damage from the Hydro Pump, but we're going to see the Toxic and the Magma Storm chip this thing down.
Yeah, I mean, do you just leave him in here? I mean,
At this point, you have to with the rocks out there, going for another
yeah.
Magma Storm.
Yep, he left him in the Volt Switch, but he's at 14%. The rocks plus a toxic swap, so he can't swap. He has to. It has to be fresh. But Skarmory just walls this thing and compress Whirlwind. This is incredible. Double paralysis on both sides. If he presses Whirlwind, it's over. And misses with Power Whip.
Power Whip.
And
That's how you know it's
Whirlwind
Whirlwind.
hits. And there's the 1% plus. There's the leftovers. Oh, and it survives. Oh my goodness. You just swap to the what HP is your Blissey at? I mean,
You know it's going to be a pain split. Brad has to go for the pain split at
yeah,
this point.
yeah. Oh, what he presses Volt Switch. No.
But
Oh
Skarmory
no.
survives it.
Skarmory survives. He pressed Roost. Incredible. So now he can press Whirlwind again, kill the Rotom. Oh my god, this is just hilarious. Yeah, it can't do anything. Now, he did knock the Rocky Helm off, but I mean, wow. This is so funny. Go ahead and roost up here, but this Ferrothorn doesn't have a way to heal.
But how are you going to kill the Ferrothorn? Are we going to go to struggle? Brad has to win.
Well,
That's
Brave
the
Bird,
analysis.
remember that Brave Bird is normal effectiveness, so it's going to do okay damage. The Iron Barbs plus the recoil. There's knockoff, not doing much. But with paralysis, this could be just. Oh, and he hits again. But he's. Look at the HP. It's dropping fast. A paralysis! No! And there's the knockoff, but it doesn't do a lot of damage. This is just hilarious. Getting the roost off is huge.
Yeah, you got to assume he was going for Roos on those paralysis, at least after the first one that would have killed. Seeing the 24% there. Got to be watching your percents. There's another paralysis.
I gotta guess that this Ferrothorn is out of power whips, and there it goes down, and the Mammox 45, the CTO, takes it 2 games to 0.